Caitlin Clark is getting ready for one of the most anticipated returns in women's basketball, but when fans see her step onto the floor for Team USA this week, one detail is going to stand out immediately. It is not her shot, it is not her passing, and it is not even the fact that she is finally back in competitive action after such a long break. It is the jersey number. Because for a player so closely identified with number 22, seeing her walk onto the court wearing number 12 is going to feel unusual at first glance. And that is exactly why this has become such an interesting talking point heading into the 2026 FIBA Women's World Cup qualifiers in San Juan, Puerto Rico. In sports, jersey numbers are not always just numbers. For some athletes, they become part of the brand, part of the image, and part of the identity fans instantly recognize. There are certain combinations in sports that feel almost permanent. When people think of Lionel Messi, they think of number 10. When people think of Cristiano Ronaldo, they think of number 7. When people think of Kobe Bryant, one of the first numbers that comes to mind is 24. In women's basketball right now, Caitlin Clark and number 22 have started to feel like that kind of pairing. That is why the change looks so dramatic, even though the reason behind it is actually pretty simple. Clark is not switching numbers because she suddenly wanted a fresh start or because she decided to leave number 22 behind. This is not about rebranding herself. It is not about preference. And it is definitely not about Team USA trying to make some symbolic statement. The reason is much more technical than that. Under long-standing international basketball tradition, FIBA has typically required players in major tournaments to wear numbers from 4 through 15. That rule has forced plenty of stars over the years to temporarily give up the jersey numbers that fans usually associate with them. Now it is Clark's turn. So when she takes the floor in Puerto Rico, she will be wearing number 12 instead of number 22. For many fans, it may look strange for a moment, because Clark and 22 have become so closely linked through a rise from Iowa superstar to Indiana Fever sensation, and now one of the biggest names in all of women's basketball. But this is one of those situations where the number changes while the player remains exactly the same. That is what makes it such a fun detail to talk about. The uniform looks different, but the expectations around Clark have not changed one bit. In fact, if anything, the anticipation around her return has only grown stronger. Clark has been away from competitive game action for a long stretch, and that absence has been very noticeable. For months, fans have mostly had to settle for glimpses from practice, quick social media clips, and updates from team settings instead of real games. And for a player who became such a huge draw in such a short amount of time, that kind of absence naturally created more curiosity. People have been waiting to see when she would return, how she would look, and whether she would come back playing with the same rhythm and confidence that made her one of the most talked about players in the sport. Now that moment is finally here, and it is happening on the international stage. That alone makes this comeback feel bigger. Clark is not easing back into the spotlight quietly. She is returning with Team USA in a major event, wearing a different number, with fans everywhere ready to analyze every possession. That combination makes this one of the more compelling storylines surrounding the World Cup qualifiers. The jersey may say 12, but the attention around her still feels exactly like 22. It is also worth remembering why numbers matter so much in the first place. Fans build emotional connections to athletes in all kinds of ways. Sometimes it is through signature plays, sometimes it is through rivalries, sometimes it is through personality, and sometimes it is through symbols. A jersey number becomes one of those symbols over time. It gets tied to highlights, to memorable wins, to viral moments, and to an athlete's larger image. Once that connection is strong enough, even a small change becomes big news. That is what is happening here. People are not shocked because number 12 is a bad number. They are reacting because number 22 feels like part of the Caitlin Clark package. Still, this temporary switch also adds another layer to her return. It is a reminder that international basketball is different. Players often have to adjust not only to different teammates, styles, and tournament structures, but also to rules and traditions that are not always present in their normal league environments. In the WNBA and other professional settings, players usually have much more flexibility with jersey numbers. On the international side, those classic numbering rules have often remained in place, especially in major tournaments. So Clark is not alone in having to make the adjustment. She is just the latest high-profile player whose usual number is unavailable under the international format. And honestly, there is something almost fitting about that. Clark's return is already about adaptation in more ways than one. She is coming back to live competition after time away. She is joining Team USA instead of returning in an Indiana Fever jersey. She is entering a setting where roles are different and expectations are shared among elite talent. And now, on top of all that, she is doing it wearing a number that fans do not normally associate with her. It all adds to the sense that this is not just a standard comeback. This is a new setting, a new challenge, and a slightly different look for one of the biggest stars in the game. The Indiana Fever seemed to understand exactly how fans would react, which is why the team leaned into the moment with a simple but smart social media message. When the Fever's Instagram account highlighted Clark's return and her Team USA jersey, the caption said, "New threads, same CC." That line probably captured the whole situation better than anything else. The number is different. The uniform is different. But the player fans are waiting to see is still the same Caitlin Clark. That is the part that really matters. Because as much as the number change has created buzz, the bigger headline is still her health and her readiness. Clark spoke to reporters at practice on Saturday and made it clear that she is feeling good physically. For a player coming back after time away, that is the most important update possible. She said she feels healthy and expressed real gratitude toward the Indiana Fever medical staff, player development coaches, and the many people who helped her get to this point behind the scenes. That kind of comment says a lot. It reminds people that returning to this level is not just about talent or determination. It takes support, planning, recovery, and a lot of work that happens away from cameras and headlines. That is also why this upcoming tournament matters beyond just a number on her jersey. Fans want to see Clark looking comfortable, confident, and physically free on the court again. They want to see the pace in her game, the sharpness in her decisions, and the overall energy that made her such a massive name in the first place. The number made 12 catch attention at first, but the real focus will quickly shift to how she moves, how she plays, and whether she looks fully back. Team USA will begin the tournament against Senegal, and on paper, the Americans have a very strong history in that matchup. The United States owns a 7-0 all-time record against Senegal, which give the opening game an added layer of expectation. From a basketball perspective, Team USA is supposed to be in control, but from a fan perspective, the spotlight is going to be especially intense on Clark because this is her return. People are going to be watching every shot, every pass, every movement, and every moment to see how she looks on this stage. And that creates a fascinating contrast. On one hand, the jersey number is unfamiliar. On the other hand, the mission is completely familiar. Clark is stepping into this tournament with the same core goals she would have no matter what number is on her back. Compete at high level, help her team win, and show that she is healthy, ready, and fully capable of making an impact. The outside image may look slightly different, but the competitive purpose has not changed. There is also something bigger at stake here than just one tournament appearance. Clark is widely seen as part of the next generation of American basketball stars, and every international opportunity carries added meaning because it places players in a national team environment that is about more than just individual performance. Team USA basketball has a long tradition of excellence, pressure, and expectation. Stepping into that space is significant for any player. Doing it while making a high-profile return only makes it more important. That is another reason the jersey number conversation caught so much attention. It turned what could have been a simple administrative detail into something symbolic. For fans, it became a visible sign that this is a different stage. Clark is not just returning to basketball. She is returning in a Team USA setting under FIBA rules in a world event with a fresh number and enormous attention. That combination makes even a small visual change feel meaningful. Of course, once the game starts, the number will probably matter a lot less than people think. Fans may do a double take when they first see 12. But if Clark starts making the kind of plays she is known for, the focus will shift immediately back to her game. That is how it always works with players at this level. The details create early buzz, but performance takes over quickly. If she looks sharp, the number conversation becomes more of a fun footnote than a major issue. Still, It is one of those little stories that adds color to the bigger moment. Sports fans love these kinds of details because they connect image, identity, and competition in a way that feels personal. A jersey number sounds simple, but for stars, it becomes part of the legacy. That is why Clark wearing number 12 instead of number 22 became such a talking point in the first place. It is different enough to catch the eye, but not nearly big enough to change who she is as a player. And maybe that is the best way to look at it. This is not a reinvention. It is not a departure from what fans know. It is just a temporary shift caused by international rules, happening at the same time as one of the most anticipated returns in the sport. Once Clark is out there competing for Team USA, the number on the front and back of the jersey will matter a lot less than the quality of basketball she brings to the floor. That is why all eyes will be on San Juan. Fans want to see Caitlin Clark back in real action. They want to see how healthy she looks, how quickly she settles in, and how she handles this international stage. The jersey may say 12, but the excitement surrounding her feels exactly the same. And if she delivers the kind of performance people have been waiting months to see, this brief number change will simply become one more memorable detail attached to a very important return. So yes, the look will be different. Yes, it will take a second for fans to adjust to seeing Caitlin Clark in number 12. But the reason is clear. The stage is set, and the bigger picture has not changed at all. She is back. She says she feels healthy, and she is stepping into an important tournament with Team USA, ready to prove that the long wait is finally over. New number, new jersey, same spotlight, and the same massive expectations that follow one of the most recognizable stars